Lexus Mic 13, another fun little project I got for the GX. I got one of the Diode Dynamic reverse lights for your hitch. Should be a pretty quick install from what I understand. This is what comes in the box. I got this on eBay, so it might be like pre-opened or whatever, but it seemed like everything was there. But looks like this is your light. Little plastic adapter there. What else we got in here? You got a big boy hitch. And the wire harness. Alright. Well, I'll see you guys when I get back underneath the truck. Alright, so there's your trailer light hookup. That's what you're going to be tapping into in order to plug in your light. Looks like I might have scraped the bottom on a rock or something, because I just don't want to come out. I don't use it too much anyway. Oh, there we go. Alright, so yeah, just a standard 7-pin connector. We're not actually going to be plugging into that. We're going to be going to the back side. Right. I don't know if you get that in the video. So that's what we're going to be working on. That's where your Diode Dynamics wire harness adapter or Y adapter, whatever you want to call it, is going to be hooking into. Alright, well, I took off this cover here, and it just goes directly into the back of the plug, and this is not like another video that I saw. I guess that's mainly why I'm making this one, so in case you have this style. Mine's a 2004, so I don't know, maybe his was newer, somewhere 2005 and 9. I think there was a few changes there. I didn't know it was the trailer hitch, or the hitch lighting. But yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna play around. I think there's like these little lock tabs in here. I'm gonna try disengaging those and see if that pulls out like the rest of them. Alright guys, so this is the adapter harness from Diode Dynamics, and this is my 7-point hitch lighting, or trailer lighting, and it is definitely not going to adapt, but I don't think that's a reason to not do this project. I'm just going to have to cut into the harness here, see what their light uses, and I'll solder it in all nice and neat, and I have shrink wrap and everything else. So yeah, I'm gonna just kind of open this stuff up, see what gets used, see what doesn't get used, and I'll come back when I got the harnesses open and see what we got. Alright, we're back. So little internet research, and it's not standard coloring, it's their coloring. So you do have to go by pin or what it is. This black is ground, and it's kind of obvious because it's the thickest. So I'm going to try and simplify this by separating out some of just the stuff that we need. So black we know that. Let's see here. Looks like we need yellow. Oh, look at that, the harness broke. Huh, that's alright, I can fix that. I think this goes to the strobing unit, so no big deal. Let's see what else what other colors we have here. Red is the center pin here, and that is your backup light. This green wire, I think on a standard trailer plug, that's just your running light, so I think they're stealing extra power from that to give it that strobing effect. Blue definitely goes into the harness. It's a direct connect. And white. So literally all that left me was brown. Brown is just a pass through. Alright, so I know it doesn't seem like I did a whole lot because I just cut off a bunch of ends, but it does simplify things here. So it looks like all these colors pretty much lined up. Alright, back to the interwebs to look up some what colors I actually need. Alright guys, you know it's serious when I brought the notebook out. It's basically just so I can keep track of the wires. So I'm just going to make a list here. So this is my plug. And this is DD's plug. So the first wire I had off of the DD plug was black. And that was ground. And so over on my plug, that is the big fat white one. Now this green wire, it looped back into the strobe assembly. So this was green, and if you go by, and it's for the strobe, and if you go to the pinout, I don't think that was listed on their plug diagram that I found online. So, but I looked it up, or as far as where it was on their plug, and it was directly across from the ground. So that would be up here, which would be the 12-volt charging accessory on there. So, which is my black wire. I'm gonna pause it and I'll have to come back. Alright guys, like I said on Diode Dynamics, or the pinout that I found, they did not include their green wire that goes to the strobe. They just have black, red, blue, and yellow listed. I didn't search too hard for it, but they also give a pin. So if you count on a plug here, yeah, that should focus. All right, so your ground, which is here, is pin 1, 2, 3, 4. That would get your green wire. 5, 6, and then your center is considered 7. All right, guys, I got all my wires. As far as here's their pins and how it correlates on my plug. So now it's just stripping and soldering. This is a fun little finding. Remember how I was saying that they use crimps? Well, on this blue wire, I just took off the shrink tube on that, and guess what? It was soldered. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be the same for this red wire too, because that looks pretty clean. Alright guys, I'm adding another color here. It looks like they used the white wire that goes into the flasher unit. So that's white on their end. I'm just gonna put flasher question mark because I don't know exactly the function, but looking at their plug, so this would be 1, 2, how would that go? So that's actually pin 2. So pin 2. So again, this is pin 5, this is pin 6, this is pin 3, and this is pin 4. So I think I'm going to have to adjust my colors here. Okay, I think that is correct. If you want to hit pause, copy that. Sorry, my handwriting's atrocious. It's never been good. Alright guys, I'm back. I simplified and cut out the extra wiring. I don't know if that's gonna focus or not. Yeah, you can call me a horrible YouTuber, that's fine. But, so yeah, we're all cleaned up. I think I'm gonna put one more piece of shrink tube over the whole thing, give it some more security. But then we're gonna go ahead and strip these ends, and then there's the green one. But we're gonna strip those ends and then actually connect it into my trailer lighting harness. Alright, so this is the part that plugs into the light here, and that's all their factory harness. I cleaned this up a little bit with just some electrical tape, put a little extra support on this flasher assembly, a couple zip ties, some more tape just to keep things nice and clean and neat. And then this is, I'm probably gonna get rid of this green wire and just take this to wherever, but since I have it marked here as green, I'm going to, well, that's my green. This green up here for the strobe goes to pin 4. Yeah, I don't know, because they're about, this little red wire is about the same length as the rest of these, so once I get to that wire, I'll get rid of this green and just go directly to pin 4. Alright, I misled you guys. This is pin, it doesn't count counterclockwise. This is pin 1, that's your ground. This is pin 2, that's your trailer brakes. This is pin 5. Alright guys, well that's the finished harness that I did. I'll spare you guys all the soldering and troubleshooting I had to do. Apparently do not pay any attention to my previous list. As you can see, I got it all squiggled out there. But yeah, I was just having issues with the brake light not coming on. Parking lights came on, so I knew my power and grounds were good. So just did a couple tests here and there, and I came up with this that let's see if I can get it here. So this is a Diode Dynamics plug, the wire colors that it goes to, and then these pins are what pins out on the 7-pin connector. So I don't know what colors that's going to be on yours, but yeah, I think their instructions online, they wanted you to cut the flasher unit completely out. So if you don't want to cut that out, then you can just use I believe that affects this green wire here, the white wire, and then the yellow is also tied into there. So if you want to just leave all that together and just cut the harness how I did earlier, then you can use this setup, and next video you'll see it installed and working. Alright, we're under the truck, and you'll have to excuse that it is raining here in the desert, so it is monsoon season. But I got the back end pulled in just to keep me dry. But those are the two plugs that I had to unplug from the well, it's not really a factory harness, I don't know, it might be aftermarket, whatever. Like I said, it wasn't plug and play like Diode Dynamics had reported, but that's alright. It might have been, it's probably plug and play for like all the new styles. So you guys, if you have a newer vehicle, you probably won't have any issues. But we're just going to plug this in here like so, and this one in here like so. As you can see, I busted the locking tab there, but I'll show you guys a little trick I learned using a zip tie. It's bound to happen. It's 20-year-old plastic that's been hanging out underneath the car in the desert for 20 years, but you can literally just take a zip tie, slide it up inside there, and there you go. Now it's locked just the same. My plug was held on with two 10mm bolts. And it kind of slid up in there like this into place. And started, I'm just going to do them finger tight, and I'll come back with a socket here in a little bit. Alright. Now as you can see, I got a whole bunch of room up inside here because my spare did not fit in the spare tire, so you guys might have had to drop your spare tire to do some wire routing. Alright, so Diode Dynamics, they didn't want to give you too much wire, so you had a bunch of wire like hanging out, but basically you just want to get it down the center. And I got a little little dust cover, we'll go ahead and use it. But they just basically wanted to get you down the center of that. So I'm going to look for places to put it. I think probably this frame for the spare is probably going to be the best place. And I'll just go ahead and zip tie it up there, and then if I ever do put a hitch in there, I can just pull it out, slide it up on top of there, and it should stay put. And you don't want this to get caught on anything, so the closer it is to any kind of framework you have, the better, so it's not dangling around. And usually, guys, what I do is I'll incorporate the cable into the zip tie, but then so it's not rubbing up against the actual frame, I'll put another zip tie in between it and tighten that all the way down, and then finish tightening the one zip tie. It gives it like a barrier, a standoff. Zip ties are cheap, use them. You know, you kind of gotta tighten one, then tighten the other, then tighten another one. You go back and forth until you get it fully tightened up. And that, like I said, it leaves a buffer for the harness so it's not rubbing directly up against the frame. And the reason I went underneath as opposed to above, this is very sharp metal up here as opposed to the nice rounded edges on here, so you don't want that digging into your wire harness. And then I'll come back with a pair of diagonal cutters afterwards. And you'll find that there's just enough sticking out for you to plug it in. Alright, well, this is the finished product of the wiring. So now you just pretty much pop this dust cap off here, and it's pretty self-explanatory how the plug goes in. You can hear it click into place, and then I know I have a locking hitch pin, so I'm definitely going to want to use that, but just for sake of installation, I'm going to go ahead and you can leave the tabs in depending on where you live. You're not scared of anyone stealing it from you, but me, I'm going to cut those tabs off, and then I'll be throwing that lock pin through there. But yeah, I mean, it pretty much locks into place just like that, and we'll come back and show you how it works. Alright, so that's the parking lights, and then that's your brake lights. Ooh-wee! And so that was the reverse. Don't mind that light bar, but you can see hold on, it does light up quite a bit, so alright. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. We got a fourth brake light. It's just the wife having some fun.